Yo, welcome back to another episode of Timmy Mon Duel Links. In this video, we're going to talk about the meta post the Forbidden Limited List and the skill rebalancing. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, YGOsingles.com. I've got a new awesome hat. If you play the TCG, make sure you check them out. They've got great prices on all of the latest singles. The North American Championship World Qualifiers is coming up soon, so pick up your cheap cards. Use the discount code TimmyMon to get 5% off your purchase, and that directly helps me out to continue to do what I love to do. That's to bring out more YouTube videos. So also I want to give a huge congratulations to all of those who qualify for Worlds for Duel Links. Extra congratulations to Silent Lofty and Koizumi. You guys are champions, man, back to back. It's gonna be good to see you guys again. Unfortunately, DK just barely missed it. But I know that's not the last we'll be seeing of him. We'll see you again soon, DK. So that was so cringe. Okay, so we'll give you a quick recap. If you haven't seen the Forbidden and Limited list, here you go. Massive Morph at 1. My favorite card. But it had happened. Massive Morph at 1. Secret Treasures and Assault Armor at 2. This is for the Samurai OTK or whatever it's called. Enemy Controller at 2. It's a huge buff to the rogue decks. A huge nerf to the good decks. Cup of Ace at 2. This is a nerf to like FTK decks, not really mill. This is a nerf to mill. 2 of these. Rose Lover and Marsh Leaf at 2. That means you can only play 2 of either Rose Lover, 2 of either Marsh Leaf, or 1 of each. That's a huge nerf to Sylvans, and this is probably the biggest thing on the change. Because of this, it means all of these other decks that could not play because if they attack into a 2000 defense mushroom, they'll just get blown up. But actually now they don't have to worry about that as much. So we see a lot of other decks come into meta. 2 Onslaughts, this is fine. Amazon decks, some play 2 anyway. Petite side. Oh, the biggest nerf for Amazons is that you can't use enemy control, so that's the biggest nerf. Not that Onslaught's at 2. Cyber Angel, this is probably this is fine. Cyber Angel's actually got a buff. You know, they can play again because all of the other decks got nerfed. So this is actually fine. Like, it's probably preemptive because they're probably releasing new Cyber Angel support. Pulse Mines at 2. Sure, okay. Gigias can't play Econ. That's okay. Celestial at 2. I think this is fine as well for the hero deck. They can mill it easily with the Vion and the fusion. So this is totally fine. I think you guys can see my meta analysis on the left. So yeah, I still think they're busted, and this is huge for Red Eyes, man. Yeah, this is just huge. Okay, so these are the cards. Let's have a quick gaze at the skills. So the only skills that got a buff were Sealed Tombs and Posthumous Army. These are the only 2 relevant skills. Sealed Tombs says neither player can banish cards from the graveyard or special summon monsters from the graveyard. So that stops, okay, spellbooks, it stops the Fate, it stops Hero Drawing 2, it stops, does it stop Amazons? No, it doesn't stop Amazons. Maybe the Tiger barely stops Amazons. It stops Red Eyes, it stops Aliens, the Continuous Trap, the Call of the Haunted Trap. It stops Magnets. It stops. Okay, so Sealed Tomb is such a busted card. It's one of these skills that we will see based on the meta. So as the meta develops, people will start to play this more. And then Posthumous Army can be used each time your life points decreased by 1,000. So Cosmic Cyclone, you can use it. All monsters on the field and monsters in both players' graveyards become zombie type monsters. until the end of your opponent's turn. This could be a buff to Red Eyes. Now you can steal any monster, and because every monster is now a zombie. And not only that, it stops spellbooks from being able to fate you. Yeah, it has. This is another skill that's good. We might see some cool zombie decks come out of this. And yeah, we can't use Resight anymore. Balance is heavily nerfed. Grit is heavily nerfed, and these other skills are also heavily nerfed. So okay, now that we've covered the ban list and the skills, I'm gonna have a quick chat with you guys about why I think these lists up there, why I think these decks are where they are. So we know, now switcheroo. So switcheroo is sort of like the skill that fills the place that Restart filled. So every deck that wanted to play Restart probably just now plays switcheroo, because they still get to shuffle at least one card in, unless they get OTK'd. So most of the decks will probably start off with that, and then as the meta develops, you'll start to see different skills. So Spellbooks is the most powerful deck that didn't get touched. So here all of these cards are not really expensive cards. So like these aren't like ultra rares from the packs or even super rares from the packs. These are only rares and commons from the packs, or free to play supers. So Konami doesn't want to ruin the experience by banning cards that you pay a lot of money for, and that's good on them. So Spellbooks isn't touched at all, and in fact Spellbooks got a huge buff with the new Silent Magician card. So Spellbooks is probably the deck to beat in my opinion, and you're either playing Spellbooks or playing against it. That's what I think. So that's a no-brainer. Spellbooks is tier 1. If you think otherwise, then there's something wrong with you. Heroes is also fine. Heroes also still beats Spellbooks because it's easy for you to get multiple monsters on board with the malicious, which other decks can't really do. But maybe Amazons. That's why Amazons is also in the tier 1 bracket. So these 3 decks are the decks that I think are going to be tier 1. And Heroes and Amazons are good enough that they can play the Sealed Tombs or the Pistimus Army card to counteract the Spellbooks. You know, that Heroes can use the Sealed Tombs after they draw from the Celestial, so it doesn't have to negatively affect them. Yeah, and Amazons are fine. You can use it after you use your trap cards to summon from the grave. In tier 2, here are the decks that we don't see as often, and we have Gigia, Red Eyes, Zombies, Aliens, Magnets, and Archfiends. I think Gigia's is a deck that got a huge boost, and you know it's only tier 2 because it doesn't have a very good Spellbook matchup. Spellbooks can just get rid of that monster every turn, so it's hard for Gigias to sort of compete. Red Eye Zombies, on the other hand, are really good against Spellbooks because you can summon the Samurai Skull and they can't fate it, or you get another Mizuki. And this makes it very awkward for Spellbooks to verse Red Eyes. So Red Eyes will probably be at the top of the tier 2, with Gigias underneath, and then Aliens there, and then Magnets and Archfiends are at the bottom of the tier 2. Yeah, Archfiends are good because on paper Archfiends should be like the best deck, right? They don't lose anything, but the problem is they're still inconsistent. I hope we see something from them. On paper they beat everything because they're huge. They're 3000 attack. Heroes can't deal with it. Yeah. And magnets, I feel like are pretty much the same as red eyes, and still in terms of the deck, it's the same as red eyes, but it's got more power, but less consistency. So red eye zombie is the more consistent of the two, but magnets are the more explosive of the two. So they're weak against the same things, they're strong against the same things, they play mostly the same cards. So yeah, I think magnets have a chance to be good in the meta as well. These 6 in the tier 2, they can all play enemy controller. I guess spellbooks can play it if they want to. Yeah, but heroes and Amazons they can't, so that's something that they have against the hero deck. I think heroes will have a hard time against all the other tier 2 decks, but will have a good time against the other tier 1 decks. Where spellbooks will have a decent time against most of the tier 2 decks except red eyes. And Amazons will have a good time against the most of the decks, so it seems. And then in tier 3 we have gladiator beasts, dinosaurs, and water with Umi. So these cards, these decks were sort of out of the meta because of the Sylvan deck. Now that Sylvans are gone, they only have spellbooks to fear, and these decks are sort of decent against all of the other tier 2 decks, and pretty good against the other tier 1 decks as well. These decks can play Cosmic Cyclones. Actually, most of these decks in the meta can play Cosmic Cyclones, and this is good against Amazons. And Gladiator Beast with Mind Scan knows exactly which one it is. Gladiator with Balance has a really consistent game against all of the tier 2 decks. Dinosaurs with Dinosaur Kingdom can OTK almost from nowhere, especially if they're playing Gyokus and they're playing Cosmic Cyclones. Spellbooks will probably have a rough matchup against that. And water sort of just was meta for a little while, and then it disappeared. Water, I think now that Sylvans are gone, water is a lot better than before. And water's only real problem at the moment is spellbooks. So playing the water with the water build with the Shriek is pretty good against all of the tier 2 decks except for Gegia, and it's pretty good against the other 2 tier 1 decks. So that's my meta analysis for the coming format after the new Forbidden Unlimited list is enacted, and we'll probably see some sort of cancer deck from me. Anyway, that's it for me for today, and we'll see you guys again later.